Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now every so often there have been calls from the community that Frontier should add true, non-exploit based, genuine and dynamic short-lived gold rushes into the game. These calls have often come off the back of huge money-making exploits such as skimmer missions, short-range passenger missions or even Robigo runs. In short, those unintended methods of earning 100 million plus credits per hour. The good news, at least some will say, is that there hasn't been many widely spread credit exploits for quite a while now. But the even better news is that Frontier have now officially added gold rushes as a legitimate game mechanic. Right now, it's possible to earn in excess of 100 million credits per hour with fully intended gameplay. But how did this happen? And when did it get noticed? Well, this change arrived with Chapter 4 and the new mining mechanics. The 4 modes of mining each allow the player to obtain various types of commodities. So far, the most profitable of these new mining techniques is deep core mining, that is, the method of using seismic charges to crack open an asteroid. Inside the core of the rock can sometimes be found extremely valuable commodities, but just how valuable? Well, let's take a look at the one that's been getting the most attention recently, void opals. These have a galactic average price of not vastly over 100,000 credits per ton. But here's the kicker. People soon started noticing that certain stations in certain areas of the galaxy were paying 1.6 million credits per unit of void opals. This meant that it was reasonably easy to haul in a full cargo of opals in exchange for a payout of 50 million or 100 million or even more credits. But hang on a minute, aren't Frontier against players making vast amounts of money? Well, no. The truth is, they have never really been against it. They just haven't been keen on players using unintended methods. The new mining system is different though, because this is intended. After a number of people bringing this vast earning potential to the attention of the official forums, Frontier posted an official response, confirming that these massive payouts are working correctly, and here is what they had to say. Hello Commanders. We wanted to address some concerns you may have regarding the high value of one of the new mining commodities, void opals. Changes to the background simulation, which come with Beyond at Chapter 4, mean that there are now more elements that impact the value of a commodity than there were previously. In the instance at Vetrenko Holdings, these elements have lined up for a limited time in a way that allowed the faction to be able to offer high prices on specific commodities. To confirm, this does mean that at this time, we are not planning to reduce the value of void opals. In addition to this, the more mother loads containing void opals that commanders encounter and mine from in a ring, the rarer they will become, driving an emergent and natural rush that will force intrepid miners into new horizons, seeking lucrative mining hotspots before they deplete. Ultimately, with the new mining changes, this is something that we want to celebrate. As we've mentioned previously, the background simulation is continually being monitored, and we may still need to apply some further fine-tuning to ensure that the simulation is at an interesting and dynamic as we intended when making these changes. In the meantime, go for gold. Happy holidays. So what does this mean precisely? Well, the short answer is that it means Frontier have created a system within the game that allows for and creates temporary gold rushes where a player can legitimately earn 50 to 100 million credits per hour. The longer answer is pretty much the same, but explains why and how this is happening. So to return for a moment to the new mining changes that come with Chapter 4, and the new rare commodities that come along with it. Now these commodities can be found in locations known as hotspots, which are found in ring systems. Now there are different types of hotspots and each of them can contain different commodities, from low temperature diamonds to the highly sought after void opals. Entering into a hotspot then, players will have to use the new tools in order to locate an asteroid that contains these prized valuables. But it doesn't end there. Merely obtaining void opals or similarly high valued items isn't enough. Not everywhere is going to pay a high price for these items. The galactic average after all does exist for a reason. It is the average price that factions are willing to pay for that item. However, exceptions do exist. From time to time, the background simulation that controls all events within the galaxy can align in just such a way that allows certain factions to pay extremely high prices. This naturally creates a demand for that commodity. As players deliver said items to the station, the price will start to drop until eventually the price returns to normal. Meanwhile, players who continue to mine the same hotspot will find that the area becomes increasingly depleted of the select goods, until eventually they become extremely difficult to find. Ultimately, this achieves two very important things. The depleting hotspots forces players to go in search of resource-rich locations, and also encourages them to keep these locations secret. After all, the more players that mine them, the quicker they will deplete. Secondly, the changes to the background simulation mean that from time to time, these goods are going to be extremely valuable, thereby creating a short-lived gold rush. Bottom line then, this is exactly what players have been asking for a very, very long time. As of a few days ago, the go-to location for void opals was the Kalaga system, and the station paying among the best prices was in the LHS 2819 system. Now this may well have changed by the time you watch this video, but the point is that you can be sure there will be another gold rush at some point, and that they will continue to occur. Frontier has stressed 2 points here. 1, they want people to take advantage of these huge payouts, and 2, they are still adjusting the changes to the background sim so that over time things may not quite work as they do now. Either way though, it's pretty clear that at this point Frontier want players to discover such high earning potentials. The next step then will be player groups figuring out what triggers these gold rushes and deliberately activating them. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.